You know that place between sleep and awake? That place that you can still remember dreaming? That's where I'll always love you, Peter Pan. That's where I'll be waiting. How is that?
That last bit again.
That's where I'll be waiting.
You really mean that, don't you?
I do. What?
Aw, Annie. It's only acting if you have to fake it. Sorry, what?
Where were you?
Here and there. What was the question?
When did you get into acting?
High school, but I'm not really an actor.
You get up on stage and say lines, right?
Well, I used to, but that was more out of necessity. Warm body. We needed to fill the parts. There were only 12 of us, you know. I'm a director, really. I used to act a little, but it didn't feel right.
Why not?
It always felt like I was faking it.
Wait, I don't know anything about acting, but...
Where are you going with this?
Well, that's the whole point, right? If it doesn't feel like that, it's real. It's only acting if you have to fake it. Carroll University.
Carroll University.
Why Carroll?
Well, I'm an alum, class of 2003.
Go Falcons.
Seahawks.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. It's a bird. One's as good as another.
Seahawks? Really? This far inland?
Well, I guess the mascot makes about as much sense as the theater program.
You went through the program?
There was no theater program then. I was a women's studies major.
Really?
Yep. Theater seemed fun. A good way to meet chicks.
You're kidding.
Sure, but only a little. I like stories like me. They're fun to tell, and you find new ways to tell them, you know?
Explain that.
Well, there are a limit to the number of different, let's call them types of stories you can tell. The differences come in how you direct them up.
How many types are there?
Fewer than you'd think. Vonnegut, I love Vonnegut. He used to say there were only two types of stories. Man in hole, boy meets girl.
How's that work?
Man falls in hole, shit, man has to get out of hole. Boy meets girl, sex is had, life goes from there. Not exactly like that.
No, not exactly.
But I like that idea that everything is very basic, and we wrap the details up around it to add flavor and depth. And these very repetitive tracks get fresh and new when you wrap them up in new clothes. It's like when you season a steak. You know, meat's just meat, but you make it a steak, and then you want to eat it. That came out wrong. I like stories, and I like that each time you tell a story, it's new, which is why I like Peter Pan.
Oh, we're jumping ahead. Let's back up a scotch. Tell us about Carroll Summer Theater.
Us?
The audience, us.
Right, us. Well, in the summer of 2005, the university planned to renovate Baxter Hall. Carroll bought up most of the block as spec properties in the 80s, and Baxter just sort of sat there until funding came through in the spring of 2003 to do it up as an arts center. The upstairs was going to have this beautiful dance studio put in, and a resident company was all set to move in for the opening in spring 2005.
You dance?
No, why?
Just curious. Continue.
Well, they found a visiting modern dance and ballet company, a big cultural exchange with his school in Austria. Avant-garde, very exciting. The artistic director arrived in January to prep for the summer and teach a few classes. And then, about a month after he arrived...
Wow.
I guess the Rhineland has some different ideas about age-appropriate dating. It was all over the news for a few days. I learned some very choice words in German that week.
Yeah?
Sie ist 18 Jahre alt, schwöre ich.
She's 18, I promise.
Very good.
So, then what happened?
Well, the university had an art space to fill and a PR problem to solve, so my friend Sam struck a deal with the Dean of Campus Life and got a few of us together. Long story short, Carroll Summer Theater. Most of us were undergrads, a few recent alums. We bunked in the dorms and put on a few shows.
Well, how'd she find you? I mean, you weren't a current student or a theater alum, right?
That was sort of a happy accident.
Explain.
It's not open discussion. Sorry. It's in the vault.
Really?
Yep.
Well, then, let's talk about Peter Pan.
All right. The last slot of the summer, this town shuts down in August. No one's around, so we figured we had 2 weeks to do whatever we wanted, and I've always liked Peter Pan.
Something about the never growing up?
No, I don't think that's it at all. It's that youth doesn't go away. You can keep the best parts.
Really? So it had nothing to do with innocence?
Well, you've seen the footage, right?
I've seen the stills, yes.
Yeah. It wasn't just about the sex. It was about the sex, but it was about the edge. We didn't tart it up just to tart it up. At least I like to think we didn't. You know, we were a bunch of oversexed, stupid college kids. I guess you're right about what you know. We had a space to fuck around in and no consequences, so we didn't actually expect anybody would see it.
But that's not what happened.
No, I guess not. We did all right that summer. We sold out. We sold out the run. We got some good press, then one random national story. Things change when people pay attention to you. And I guess you know what happened next.
Tell me about Annie Phillips.
Look, you'll get that from everyone else.
I'd like to hear it from you.
I'm sorry, is there a reason you're pushing so hard?
I'm good at what I do.
Is there another reason you'd like to disclose?
You know, is there anything that you're willing to talk about that I can't get from a Google search?
What?
You know, this is my time too, and my money.
Is it, though?
And you didn't have to agree to this. You said you'd come down here and chat with me, and I feel like I'm getting just stonewalled basic answers from some junior professor at Bumblefuck University.
Well, that was... I'm sorry, rude doesn't even begin to cover
There's
it.
something huge happened here, and it started with you, and I feel like I'm talking to someone who sat on the sidelines.
It was huge. And I wish I could say that we saw it coming and it happened on purpose, but we put together a show that people actually wanted to see, and it was good. It felt like art. Lowercase a, not capital A. There's a big difference. No pretension, no need to sit around and talk about what we've done or what we were going to do next. We made a show that was about what we wanted it to be about, and it was, over and over again, impossible, and it happened anyway. And it's gone now. And that's what happens with the theater. You have a world that lasts 90 minutes or 2 hours or whatever, and then it's done, and a version of it comes back the next night or afternoon for the matinee, but it's never the exact same place. That's what we had. A summer of that, 9 weeks together that felt permanent, and that's always a lie. And I can talk about it as much as you want, about Walter and James.
Hey, would you mind getting this started for me?
Yeah, sure.
No nails.
There you go.
Thanks. Take good care of your hands.
Thanks.
About Lydia and Alan and that poor kid who ended up our intern, Danny.
It's hot! It's hot! Get it away from me! It's hot! Oh, get off!
Oh, honey.
I got this one!
Dibs on the next one.
About Kathy and dealing with why.
如果你起呢件樣嘢，會搞出人命㗎啦！呢個會真係好好睇，但係我諗你唔想係咁樣。
Just make it happen.
And Sam, and Tina, and Jacqueline.
Look, guys, I know you're pissed right now. I know Graham's being a dick. I don't care how bad it gets, you can't throw shit at your director and tell him to go fuck himself.
Go fuck yourself.
Charming.
And yes, Annie.
You know that place between sleep and awake? That place that you can still remember dreaming? That's where I'll always love you, Peter Pan. That's where I'll be waiting. How is that?
That last bit again.
That's where I'll be waiting.
You really mean that, don't you?
I do.
What?
Aw, Annie. It's only acting if you have to fake it. She was incredible. That's all I've got on her. She made us. She made it for us.
Do you think any of this would be happening if it weren't for her?
What does that mean?
Graham, do you even know why I'm here?
I don't care.
Really?
No. That summer was about feeling like... It wasn't about talking about it. We made something that I'm pretty sure I'll always be proud of, and Annie and everything after, she owns that. But that summer was ours. And I miss it. It was the last time in my life I felt like one of the good guys, where we were doing the right thing for the right reasons without having to think about it and choose and pat yourself on the back. We were all stressed out of our minds, and at any given moment we might have looked miserable or out of gas or just a little bit like lost boys and girls, but we weren't ever alone. There was something to that I sincerely doubt you're going to find in this film, or that you've got any interest in looking for. You had to be there. Sorry.
No, that was great. Don't apologize. So, you drinking?
You offering?
Sure.
What about the,
Oh, don't worry about it. We'll, edit around swigs. Come on.
Okay.
So I'm sitting at the press table with like 4 folks from Entertainment Weekly, and Cameron Manham walks by, and she just lets out this enormous fart.
What?
But none of us said anything, right? Not a word. It never hit print because that is just the kind of woman Cameron is. She is a classy broad.
With a gas problem.
But yeah, there's that. So, any final thoughts?
About
Life, theater, the summer of '05. Mostly that last one.
Well, what is there to say? It was a good summer. I don't spend a lot of time thinking about it. It's like peeling back a Band-Aid, but it ended up being one of those things that you go through and then you realize you're an adult and there's kid stuff you can't do anymore. I feel like I spend half my time wishing I was back there and half my time thankful that being an adult means that you want different things than you wanted when you were a kid.
That is wise, my friend.
Hey, G, they were all out of the Fontini you like. Hello?
Hi. Wow, hi.
I
guess there's some things you don't have to outgrow.
Amy, this is Robert. We were just wrapping up.
Sure, yes. Consider us wrapped. I'll give you a call in a few weeks.
I think we're done here.
Really? Are you sure? Could be quite a chat.
It's nice talking with you.
Was it?
No, not really. Thanks for the scotch.
Well, thank you for your time. It looks like you're finding ways to maintain your enthusiasm.
It really is nothing like that. This is all completely innocent.
Huh. How do you say that in German?
I think it'd be best if you go.
I'll be seeing you.
No Fontina, huh?
Nope.